New channel, Fallout, rants, epic, sick air horn noises. Hey everybody, Fallout here, and oh look, I have a camera that isn't very good. If you have a better camera that you would like to give me, I have a P.O. box that some people don't know about. I like this shirt, looking kind of like a flabby-armed lumberjack. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something really weird that happened on Twitter in the gaming world the other day. This guy who works in the gaming industry named Alex Hutchinson, who apparently was a creative director at Stadia, maybe more on that later, tweeted out the following. Streamers worried about getting their content pulled because they used music they didn't pay for should be worried by the fact that they're streaming games they didn't pay for as well. It's all gone as soon as publishers decide to enforce it. The real truth is that the streamers should be paying the developers and publishers of the games they stream. They should be buying a license like any real business and paying for the content they use. As you can imagine, that erupted into an absolute shitstorm. Tons of replies from people in the gaming industry, retweets, a complete dumpster fire, as one would predict. I don't know why I'm wearing my ASTRO head. I'm not listening to anything right now. I guess when I'm in a gaming mood, I can't help but think of my ASTRO wireless A50s. Okay, what was I saying? Massive backlash over that completely insane tweet. Followed up later, because of course he did. Amazing to me that people are upset at someone saying that the creators of content should be allowed to make some of the money from other people using their content for profit. I want you to imagine a minute that we lived in a world where if a couple of guys were sitting around a table with a little sports podcast, hey, they're making a little side hustle, they're doing a little sports podcast with their buddies. Let's talk about baseball. Hey, let's talk about my team, the New York Yankees. How are they doing this season? And then later in that week, knock, knock, knock. Who's that at the door? Holy shit. It's the New York Yankees asking you, hey, did you pay a royalty, a licensing fee to talk about our Major League Baseball team on your podcast? You didn't? Well, f you. That would be the most insane, wild shit ever if a baseball team went around giving cease and desist orders to any podcast that would talk about their team. To a degree, I get it. Let's talk about what some people are gonna bring up, definitely, which is music, TV, and film. All different forms of art in their own unique way, just like video games. Let's talk about a movie. How is a movie supposed to be taken in, absorbed, acquired by the customer? Well, you sit down in a chair and you watch and experience the movie. You take it in. That is how you purchase and take in that product. If I were to sit here and broadcast a movie to a bunch of people on my Twitch or YouTube channel, especially if it were a brand new movie, I'm sure that Hollywood would probably be pissed off about that, and that's why there are rules about why you can't do it. Because with a movie, you watch it one time, you have completely experienced that movie. There is nothing more to experience. It is linear. Once you have retained all that information regarding the movie, you have 100% experienced that movie. Here's why video games are different. How does a consumer experience a video game? By playing it. Even watching somebody else play a game doesn't take away anything. You don't gain knowledge that would infinitely make the game unplayable to you in the future. If I broadcasted Avengers Endgame to you, and you took in the entire movie, you now know everything that happens in that movie. So if someone walked up to you and said, hey, would you pay money to go into the theater and watch Avengers Endgame? You could get away with saying, oh yeah, I already know what happens in Avengers Endgame. I don't really need to pay to go see it again because I've already seen it. Maybe you would go back if you really, really enjoyed it. But for a video game, it's different because the whole point of a video game is to play the game. If you have someone sitting in a chair watching their favorite streamer play Super Smash Bros, and then after that stream is over, you pull that kid aside and say, hey, do you want to play Super Smash Bros? What is the kid gonna say? Oh no, because I already know what happens in the game. There's a bunch of bros and they smash. No, that's not, you don't spoil the game of Smash Bros by watching somebody else play it the way you would take in the experience of watching a movie to see what happens. The whole point of a video game is that you want to play it yourself. You could watch a streamer play a game for hours on end. It doesn't change the fact that you still want to play. Whereas TV and movies have a starting point very clearly defined and are completely linear until their ending point, Video games are crazy all over the place. Depending on the game, a streamer could take this path and go that way and make certain interesting choices. They could use that path and make other choices, depending on if it's a PvE game or if it's a PvP game. You could join in a streamer playing a game at any time during that timeline, and you could branch off in a million different directions about what that player could do differently than how you would do it if you were to sit down and play the game yourself. This is crazy to me. The real truth is the streamer should be paying the developers and publishers of the games they stream. Dude, it is literally free advertising. Do you think that the creators of Fortnite are angry or salty or tilted that the Twitch community picked up their game and played the absolute out of it? Hell no. Do you think that bro who created Minecraft, Anna, what was the guy's name? Notch. The guy who created Minecraft, he's probably doing octuple backflips all the way to the bank that YouTube and Twitch and everyone completely ran away with the excitement and fun of broadcasting Minecraft online. I want you to think for a minute, just imagine the insane, crazy backlash that would happen if some game came out and was like, hey, you're only allowed to broadcast our game if you pay a licensing fee. And if you don't, knock knock. Who's there? It's our lawyers, ready to cornhole you. There is absolutely no way that would go down. It would be an instant revolution. Who would play that game? We get upset with EA over loot boxes, and this is the new thing, the new standard that you're trying to visualize in your wildest dreams. Do you remember back in the day when the Xbox One was about to come out and they did that big Microsoft reveal stream? And they announced so many things about the next Xbox console that so many people didn't like. They did such a bad job at promoting their console with that press release that PlayStation really only had to not completely shoot themselves in the foot to slam dunk the PS4. And that's pretty much what they did. They basically walked out and said, hey, you know all that stuff? Guess what? We're not gonna do it. And the audience went, oh my God, yes! It would be the same thing if any video game company tried to pull this off. It would be ridiculous. It wouldn't make sense. I'll tell you, man, this fucking Alex guy over here. This dude said he was a creative director at Stadia. I don't really know if that's true or not, because I went to bed, woke up this morning. It's about to make a Sopranos reference. Woke up in the morning, checked the whole Twitter kerfuffle, see if it was still going on. And apparently this dude has changed his bio. No longer does it say creative director at Google Stadia. Now it says creative director at SG&E Montreal Studio. Here's a brutal retweet from Jim Sterling. The real truth is you had to change your bio after you got called out for this dumb take because saying you were Stadia's creative director turned out to be a gross overstatement. This guy actually had a take so crazy that Google, very likely, or somebody up on the corporate ladder, knocked on his door. There's a lot of door knocking in this video, and said, hey, yeah, we know that all opinions on Twitter are yours, and you have a little thing in your bio that said, all takes and thoughts and opinions are my own. Yeah, we need you, if you're gonna stick with that fiery hot garbage take, you need to take that thing that says you're creative director at Stadia. You're gonna need to take it down. He definitely got a lot of fire for that one. And look, I'm not completely trying to absolutely roast someone for having their own unique opinion. Like, I get it to a degree. Like I mentioned, we have things in place to prevent people from rebroadcasting movies and TV. Games are different. Games are intended to be played. Me personally, from my own experience, I have bought many a video game by watching people on YouTube, friends on Twitter or Twitch play the game. It's a gigantic cog of advertising, and any company that would try to even remotely do it differently would immediately be kicked in the crotch and shunned. And I can't help but throw this out there as well. I did find another tweet from another dude named Lee Beeden. He went through this dude Alex's profile and found multiple tweets where he really does not like streamers and just people in the gaming industry, apparently. Lee Beeden raises a good question. Why exactly did Google put someone who actively hates one of the most important parts of the gaming ecosystem in charge of their gaming product? Here's a couple of tweets from that roundup. I cannot imagine something I would want to read less than an autobiography of a streamer. At least it would be short. Zing. I have to admit, stream sniping valueless streamers with an air horn makes me laugh. Streamers complaining that Burger King used their own creepy monetization schemes against them is peak 2020. We all know that nothing currently more important is happening right now in 2020. If the streamers disappeared, then the games would remain. If the games disappeared, the streamers disappear. Look, if you don't like streamers, if you don't like YouTubers, sure, I get it. Lord knows the Destiny 2 community has had its fair share of bad apples. This dude is apparently a fairly high cog. He's a creative director somewhere at some kind of gaming company. Why would you put some guy so high up on the pyramid who clearly has such intense resentment for the gaming community? Again, to me, that would be like if a huge, high-powered executive in Hollywood was talking like, we gotta get rid of all these podcasts that promote and talk about movies. We gotta get them out. Oh look, there's even more. Streamers should be giving at least a 50% cut to the devs who made the games without whom they couldn't do their jobs. User reviews are equally prone to the zombie crowdsourced opinions campaigns against issues by people who never played it. That part is true. Just find an outlet you respect and stick with it, whether it's a strike, magazine, or streamer. Anyway, one of the original replies to this guy talking about how streamers need to be paying royalties for things that aren't theirs, from Jack Septic Eye. I find this thinking extremely ironic considering you have fan art of me, a streamer, as your banner on Twitter from when I played Savage Planet. If you're looking for some very entertaining replies on Twitter, I very much encourage you to go dig up that thread and go looking. Although I gotta give credit to this Alex guy, he has not yet deleted any of those tweets. He has only, in fact, gone in to change the Stadia part on his profile. So yeah, look, I get it, not all streamers are the nicest, coolest, dopest people in the world. A lot of them do cause problems, maybe causing a little mischief every now and then. For the most part, again, video games, so different from TV and movies. I don't know, if you feel any differently, let me know down in the comments section. I promise I won't roast ya. Not too hard anyway. I don't even really know what this video is. I just kind of saw that tweet about some guy so brutally going after part of the video game community as a whole. Felt I had to just weigh in on the entire topic. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Click the old like button if it gave you a giggle. Thanks very much for being part of my community, and I will catch you next time.